Cosgrove is the owner of Results Fitness in Santa Clarita. He joins us now live. Alwyn, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Alex.
I know you reached out to me on Twitter a few days ago before this shutdown saying, do a profile on us. We've done so many things to abide by what everybody is doing. Let us show off how to do gyms safely. And after all of that work, you're told you got to shut down anyways. Talk to us about some of what you've done and your reaction to this latest shutdown.
So we were closed for 14 weeks. And as we all know in Los Angeles, it was a 2-week to flatten the curve. And 14 weeks later, we were still closed. And then we got guidelines from the state and we got guidelines from the county. And I just went through it line by line and I made sure that we did everything right. We just broke it down, everything perfectly. Physical distancing, as Dr. Drew says, not social distancing. We still want to say hi to each other. Physical distancing, we are 6 feet apart, not only laterally, but forward and back. There are no face-to-face contact amongst the members. There is no sharing of equipment. We are doing no touch contact for check-in. Everything that they asked us to do, we did. We exceeded everything that they asked us to do, and we were open for 3 weeks, and then we got more restrictions. And we did that too, which was masks were now mandatory for the entire training session, not just in and out. And we nodded and we agreed and we did that too. And then just a few days after that, with no notice at all, we're told, you're closed. We did everything right. We did everything we could, and we're still not allowed to even help people. It's as if the gym has become such a dangerous thing that what we do is illegal, that every piece of the benefits of exercise, and as Dr. Drew knows, even for mental health, just completely not only negates when you go inside, but it completely reverses and it becomes dangerous.
Was there any transmission in your facility? Did anybody come up with COVID?
There's none that I'm
Right.
No, sir. None that we were allowed. We have 300 members at our peak. We were allowing 8 people in at a time in 5,000 square feet. Everyone wore a mask. Coaches wore a mask. We staggered people. There was no sharing of equipment. We had 45-minute workouts, and we disinfected all the equipment and asked everyone to leave.
And Alex,
did everything that the experts
that
asked
would
us to
be
do.
what we call science. You make a hypothesis, you apply an experiment, and you see the outcome.
Yeah.
So the hypothesis is we can control the transmission. We let people in, we see what happens. There's no transmission. That's science. It's different than the conversation you had with Dr. Gowdy.
Yeah, so last night, this was your main point, Dr. Drew. So I tried to take your question directly to the guy who helped to make this decision. What is the scientific rationale for these latest lockdown orders? So we asked California's Secretary of Health and Human Services, Dr. Mark Ghaly. He's one of Governor Gavin Newsom's main advisors on all this, about the science behind the shutdown decision. Here's what he said.
So I'm wondering if you can expand upon the science that went into the decision-making process to shut down hair salons, nail salons, gyms. Have you seen outbreaks in some of those industries? What led to those particular industries shutting down, at least temporarily?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And we have continued to lean on the science. We know that generalized mixing outside of your household, movement, where you are mixing with others, any of those events and activities creates an opportunity for transmission. So in general, industries where that happens to prolonged degrees. Furthermore, the focus on the outdoors is another key piece that is part of what will be largely a regular way we do business moving forward. So these are obviously hard decisions, but important ones so we can make sure our current increase in cases and transmission is well controlled in the weeks to come.
I've got a bunch of responses. A, he's learned to speak like a politician. B, Alex, next time ask him, where are the peer-reviewed studies published that you are basing your scientific opinion on? Where are they? Just today, there was a study from the CDC that looked at 2 women who were cutting hair, sick for a week, then proven to have COVID. They cut the hair of 139 people, close admixturing, as he was talking about, but doing the necessary mask wearing that they needed to do to prevent transmission and practicing all the good techniques that they've been taught. And the transmission rate was 0. That's another scientific experiment. 2 sick people properly masked, zero transmission. So where is the science he's talking about? Where was it published? Do a study, Alan. Study your gym. Bring a certain number, have somebody come in that's an epidemiologist and study it and see if there's transmission.
I would love that to happen. I would love someone to come in. I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm following their advice. And they told me what to do, and I did it, and we're still closed. And I'm not being flippant. This disease is scary. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. I had a stem cell transplant at UCLA. I'm very familiar with the dangers of infection. I'm very familiar with what quarantine of sick people looks like. But the epidemiologist gave me a list of what to do, and we did it exactly right, and we're still not allowed to do business. And it's just, that's despair. That's soul crushing.
And so where do you go from here?
We pivot. We try our best. We don't have a cliff top resort where I can have this outdoor gym. We're on a storefront. It's the air quality in Santa Clarita isn't great right now. Results Fitness, where we operate, we've got great members, and we're trying to go outside, but we built for 20 years. We've opened this gym built on equipment, progressive resistance exercise, periodized training, good exercise science, and it's all got taken away. And now I'm in a park.
Well,
I don't know what's next.
I think what you're missing is you got to paint half your face blue and half white and look like William Wallace, and then people will take you much more seriously when you're out there expressing your freedom.
All right. Alan, thank you. Thank you for watching, and best of luck to you and your members. We feel for you, and keep us updated on what happens with you.
Critical.